Welcome back viewers. In today's video, we are going to do the installation of CachyOS desktop. So I have already downloaded the ISO file. Let us start with the installation. We will install it as a virtual machine in GNOME boxes. You have to use the profile for Arch Linux. And you can use 25. So if you remember, I will just show you one thing. Let me open it. Yes. So system deboot we are going to use because it has support for UEFI based systems. So what we will do is we will click over to UEFI and we will use 35 GB of hard disk. So these are the different options. Just a moment. System slowdown. Yes. CachyOS with NVIDIA closed source driver. CachyOS legacy hardware. Memory test option. UEFI shell is there. UEFI firmware settings. System shutdown and system restart options are there. So we will go with the CachyOS only because it is a virtual machine. The NVIDIA drivers cannot be used. To use the NVIDIA drivers, we have to use the GPU pass-through. So that GPU pass-through, we will check out how to do that in some other video. How to install the NVIDIA drivers and everything we will check. So for that, I will have to install the CachyOS on my system, on my bare metal system, or we will use the GPU pass-through. Let us see what the option we can use. So in this, what we will going to do is we will install the default desktop, whatever is default. I think KDE desktop is default, so we will use KDE desktop only. If it is GNOME desktop, we will use GNOME desktop. We will install the default desktop only in today's video, and then we will do the review of that desktop. Then further, I will not do any installation videos. Only 2-3 installation videos. One for the this REFIND boot manager grub, and today I am going to do for the system deboot. So that's it. So only 3 installation videos, rest all desktop reviews will be there one after other. So this is the CachyOS Hello. So most of the Linux distributions have this Hello application where you can check out the documentation, contact support, check out the project. You can get involved in the project development, software, everything, all those things. Even you can access the wiki, you can donate to the project, and you can also start the installer from the same app. So let us start. So this is a KDE desktop. You can see here, this is a KDE desktop. We will go and start the installer immediately. Desktop we will check in the next video where we will do the review of the system. So this system is little bit slower on my system. You can see here. Okay, so here first thing you have got an option. So different boot managers are given. So refined is there, refined is there. So these are 2 types of refined. So we will have to check more information about this AI SDK refined. So what we will do is today only we will use system deboot, which is the default one. So this is the Calamars installer. So very pretty standard for most of the Linux distributions. We will go ahead. I will choose the local. So that is chosen by default. So only thing we need to choose is the keyboard. So I will choose the Indian keyboard. English India with rupee. Next is either you do manual partitioning or you do the erase disk, so it will erase complete disk and do the needful. So what we do is, let us go with the manual partitioning. Create a new partition table. So you have to use the GPT style partition table. First thing, you have to create a boot partition. So let me use, I think 1000 MB should be sufficient. So that will be FAT32. You have to use the boot flag. In mount point, you have to use /boot. Okay, then create 8 GB unformatted partition. This will use the BIOS grub. This is important. You have to create unformatted 8 MB partition, small partition for the BIOS boot. So this is good when you have your installation of bare metal. So this helps for the booting. Now there are two options. Either we create the swap or we don't create the swap. Let us use 4000 MB swap. Let us create the swap. So you have to choose the swap flag. Now rest, what we can do is, let us create the root partition with btrfs. Encryption also we can do. Let us go with the encryption. Let us see. So passphrase, I am going to keep it very simple and use the root flag, and you have to use the mount point root. That's it. So this is done. It's very easy. You can see here, you can directly jump to any of these options. So these are the different stages of configuration of the installer. So you can jump, I think you can click no. I'm not able to click, but it shows at what stage of configuration you are there. So we start from welcome, then we go and select our location, then the keyboard setting, then partitions, then you have to go to desktop, select the desktop. Okay, so this is only warning. Okay, separate boot partition was set up together with an encrypted root partition, but the boot partition is not encrypted. So this is a very fair warning. So whenever you use a root partition which is encrypted, you have to do the boot partition should be always encrypted. Why? Because it makes the system very secure. So what happens is, if your boot partition is not secured but your root partition is secure, still the hacker can go inside your system from the boot partition. So he can access the boot partition, manipulate and get access to the root partition. So this is a very fair and a very good message that will make your systems more secure. This I did it intentionally to show you that whenever you go for a encrypted root partition, your boot partition should also be encrypted. So for that, so there are security concerns with this kind of setup because important system files are kept in the encrypted partition, that is the boot partition. You may continue if you wish, but the system unlocking will happen later during the system startup. So what will happen is, system will boot up first, and then to access the root partition, you will have to input the password. So boot won't be secure, only your root partition will be secure. To encrypt the boot partition, go back and recreate it, selecting the encrypt. Okay. So now what I will do is, I will go back. In the root partition, you have to select edit, and I think there will be option for okay, so I have to recreate it. So I will delete this. Now you can recreate it. Yes, so I have to use encrypt button. Now select the FAT32. Okay, so FAT32, it is not showing the encrypt function. What we do is, we can go with the extended 4 partition. Yes. Okay. And then I will select the boot, and then you have to select the boot. Okay, so I have used the extended 4 file system for the boot partition. Others will also work. You can check it out, or I will show you extended 4. But what happens is whenever you use extended 4 file system, sometimes if you got multi-boot system where Windows is involved, then Windows won't be able to read the extended 4 file system. So if your Linux system fails, then Windows won't be able to boot, because the booting information is there in this boot partition, which is written in extended 4, and Windows cannot read this. So whenever you have got Windows together with Linux, always go for FAT32 or NTFS, both will work, because Linux can read the Windows partitions, but Windows will have problem reading the Linux partition. So keep this in mind. So I am showing you the different combinations that work and which combinations don't work. So that's it. So now we are going to have a boot partition with extended 4 file system. It is encrypted and the boot flag is on. That's it. Now what you have to do is you have to press enter button. You can see here, and UEFI partition is necessary to start CachyOS. To configure an UEFI partition, go back and select a create a suitable file system. So if you can see here, now there is issue because extended 4 file system, you cannot do a UEFI partition using extended 4. So it must be FAT32. So now what you have to do is you have to go back. So I have shown you another facet, another issue that can crop up. So what you have to do is you have to edit it, go to the FAT32. Where is the FAT32? Okay. So if you do FAT32, okay, what I will do is I will first delete this, create. I can go with FAT32, but then it will not allow me to encrypt. You can see here. So that's it. This is what happens. So you have to be expert in this, all these things. Okay, boot. Now again it will show. Okay, so UEFI is necessary. Okay, so for UEFI 2040 MB, so they have put some limitations. So for UEFI system, file system, for a UEFI boot, you require 2000 MB of partition. So what we will do is we will just delete this, because in most of the Linux distribution 1000 MB is good enough for UEFI partition, but I think they are keeping the init RAM-FS in this boot partition only. So what we will do is we will delete this, or we should delete everything. Okay, so what we will do is we will create a new partition table, GPT partition table, create 2000 MB. Okay, we will use FAT32 only. Non-part is boot. It is a boot partition. Okay, 2048. Okay, so what we do is we use 2048 only. 32. Okay, that is done. Now we have to use the unformatted 8 MB BIOS grub partition. That is done. Now we have to use the swap partition. For that we use 4000. Okay, Linux swap. Select the swap flag, and now remaining we create btrfs file system encrypted. Passphrase is this, and then go and select the and then you have to select the mount partition also, mount point. That is done. Now we can go ahead. Okay, because okay, what we'll do is let us try it. Okay, what we'll do is let us again do the deletion. Okay, we use first click this and then change the file system. No, it is not allowing us to do. Maybe extended code it will allow. Yes, and I think this will be okay. Earlier it was not allowing us. And we select the boot flag. I think now it is okay. Yes, so it is not allowing us to have the UEFI partition. Okay, okay, what we do is, okay, what we do is we click delete. Okay, where is the UEFI? Okay, extended at 32. Okay, so maybe if I write like this, let us see. Yes, boot. Okay, must be FAT32. Okay, okay. So now what we do is this. We go to first FAT32. Yes, I think now, but it won't be encrypted now. Okay, look. Okay, boot was set or not? Boot flag is there. Okay, so what we do is we have to delete this. Now create again. FAT32 mount point is boot/EFI. Use this. Now I think we can go ahead. Oh no, it is asking again. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I think now we can go ahead. So only the root file system will be encrypted. We can go with that. So now here you have to select the additional packages. So base packages are selected by default. You have to select the additional packages. So you can see here, these are the CachyOS specific applications, Cache browser, CachyOS fish config, CachyOS NNC rules, CachyOS hello. So what is NNC rules? We will have a separate video on that. CachyOS hello, CachyOS kernel manager, CachyOS package installer, CachyOS settings, CachyOS ZSS config, CachyOS micro settings, and the CachyOS wallpapers. And these are the base or the common packages. So these are the system packages: X system, network, firewall, Bluetooth, package management, desktop integration, file system, fonts, audio, hardware, power, and some application selection for so it contains some applications. So this is something similar to what application selection is done in Endeavour OS. So some of these applications are common with what we see in the Endeavour OS default application selection. and these are the KDE specific applications. So this is selected, you can reduce that. So if you want a minimal KDE desktop, you can remove as many applications as you want, so that won't affect the installation. And some microcode is there, so Intel and AMD microcode is selected. You can go for the HP printer settings, so I will show you. You have to select this. I got a HP printer, so I will select this. And you can also go with the accessibility tools, so Orca, eSpeak, or the mouse tweaks. Let us go with mouse tweaks. Let us see what is there in the mouse tweaks. So now I think we can go and install the KDE desktop with some accessibility tools like mouse tweak and the HP printer support. You have to click. Then there is Firefox also. You can select the Firefox also if you want. So I have selected the Firefox and the Firefox local. That's it. Printer support cups is not needed. I will go with HP. I have got HP printer. Now you can have your username password selection and use the same password for the admin account. That's it. So now it shows the summary of the installation that will be done and the configuration that we have done. Okay, okay, pretty fair. And you have to proceed with the installation. Let us see how much time it takes for the installation. Now the CachyOS patch set contains the CachyOS. What is CachyOS? That we will try to see, and if it's possible, I will try to show you either the configuration, either any GUI application is there. So I will show you what is CachyOS, what it contains, what exactly performance improvements are there in a separate video. Further, you can see what is this LTO, what is GCC. GCC I show it is a C compiler, GNU C compiler, C++ or C compiler. So that is everybody knows. But what is LTO, that we will have a separate video. Firegel, I think I have already prepared one video. So I'll be releasing that Firegel video. It is based on the Debian NTX distribution. So it is based on Debian NTX Linux distribution that also has this Firegel. So I will show you what is Firegel. I think I have prepared a video also that we will soon release, maybe in 1 or 2 months. All this thing we have discussed. NNC CPP, it automatically handles processes with a rule set via the nice parameter. So that NNC, it is there in Pop OS also. Pop OS has the nice parameter set for the low latency settings, and it increases the system responsiveness. So NNC CPP, we will try to show you in CachyOS also how to do the settings if possible. The configuration file, that also I will show you. Okay, so the installation is done. We will stop here. In the next video, we will review the KDE desktop that was installed in this video. See you then. Bye bye.